Welcome to What's in the Box, episodes of horror with Donna and Eric. I'm Donna.
And I'm Eric.
And continuing on with our Texas AuthorCon author spotlights, we have with us Rowland Bercy Jr., one of my favorite people. Hi, Rowland.
Hey, Eric. Hey, Donna.
How's it
Thank
going?
you.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Good. It's going good. I'm just sitting here enjoying the weather because it's nice out here in Texas, at least for now.
Yeah.
Give it another 3 weeks and it'll be 100 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
and
thank
I'm
you.
all go outside.
Unless you absolutely have to, right?
Unless I have to go to Texas AuthorCon.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm actually looking forward for the warmer weather. So I'd like for it to get a little hotter. So
Yeah.
Not me. We had one day of like 90-degree weather like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, I can't handle this.
I like
Now,
swimming and stuff, so I'm looking forward to the kind of warmer weather as well.
yeah. Yeah, we're back in the 40s today. We've been in the
Oh,
40s for
damn.
the last like week and a half, so
That's crazy.
yeah.
it's been
Really?
nice. So we had a little rain, but it's been 80s
Yeah,
for the most part this week. So
perfect. Yeah, awesome.
Not bad. So we have a couple of icebreaker questions just so people can get a little bit more of your personality.
Oh, Lord.
Jason, Michael, or Freddie? Who is your favorite?
Freddie, yes. I had to think about that because it's between Jason and Freddie. Michael's okay, but Jason and Freddie are just both badasses. And Freddie versus Jason was one of my favorite Freddie movies, so I have to say Freddie.
Okay.
And Freddie did win that fight. I'm sorry. Everybody's like, no way. Jason got him at the end. I don't know if you've seen it, right?
I haven't
Yeah.
seen it.
recently, I saw it recently. So
I
yeah,
really
and
like
I don't understand what kept me from it because I think it is one of the better movies. So
Yes, I agree. You gotta watch it, Donna. You'll like it, I think.
Yeah,
yeah,
I gotta get that because I like Freddie. Freddie's the guy.
yeah. I lean Jason. Jason's will be my number one, but I understand why everybody likes Freddie. So
yeah. Hey, Donna, who's your favorite?
Freddie.
Freddie? Ah.
Yeah. Team Freddie. All right, so now we're going to know vampires or werewolves.
Oh, God. Vampires.
Really?
I'm from New Orleans.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So
Okay.
I can see that for sure.
Yes, so vampires all the way.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't think about the New Orleans thing. So okay, I
I'm
think you're the
about-
first person
No.
to choose vampires.
Second, you weren't.
Second?
Yeah, we had one last night. We've had back-to-back vampires in interviews. So
Oh,
Really? I
yes,
don't know. I'm just about over werewolves. The only cool werewolf movies I like is, of course, American Werewolf in London. And then there's another one called Dog Soldiers.
oh
Yeah.
yes.
That is a badass movie.
yeah,
Yep.
it's a very fun movie.
Like, so
We
good.
actually did an episode on dog soldiers
Oh, really?
on our podcast, and there's a companion book written by Janine Pipe,
Uh-huh.
and it has like all behind the scenes like photos and interviews with the actors and like just like from pre-production all the way through to like the end of it being released.
Awesome.
So it's a really awesome book to check out. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, since you picked vampires, what's your favorite vampire movie?
Yeah.
Queen of the Dam.
Oh yeah, that's a good
I have
one.
to go with Aaliyah. I love Aaliyah. Well, and then of course it was Lestat was in New Orleans, but I don't know. Yeah, Queen of the Damned, I think.
Yeah, that was a
Sweet.
good movie.
Yeah.
I think I loved Interview with the Vampire.
Mhm.
But then when Queen of the Dam came out, I fell in love with that version of Lestat.
Oh yes.
So I was like, yeah. And Akasha was like brutal, man.
Badass. Yeah. Not only that, she looked amazing. I was like, wow. Am I
Yeah.
No, not the there's actually a new Interview with a Vampire. I think it's on, I forget what channel, but it's a new series. It's really good too. I don't know if you
Is
guys.
Is it?
Oh my
Oh.
God, yeah. I'll find out the what channel it's on and let you know. But so far there was like 8 episodes, and it was filmed in New Orleans again. So
Isn't it
really
AMC?
AMC.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the Walking Dead people, right?
Yes. I loved it. They did a good job.
Okay, cool. Well, I haven't I haven't watched it yet. My wife doesn't do horror, so we don't really do horror shows. So
Really?
usually I have to do that later. So I will
Yeah.
put it on my to-do list to
I
check
think
it
Yeah.
out.
Now, are you a Sookie Stackhouse fan?
Do you like
Who?
True Blood?
True Blood?
No, that's too cutesy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I mean, the show was kind of dark, but the
Really?
books were very cutesy.
I enjoyed
Yeah.
the books. I probably read the first 8 of them. But
Yeah.
I also like the Aurora Tea Garden books that she put out. So the same lady who's writing True Blood is writing Aurora Tea Garden. So that kind of tells you what kind of book you're getting. So
I
Yeah.
haven't read the books. I just saw a couple of the episodes on TV, but I never really got into it for some reason.
So, as a kid, what was your favorite scary movie?
Ooh, can I pick two?
yeah,
I'm gonna pick
Yeah.
two. Trilogy of Terror. I will always be a fan of that movie. Wow, what's her name? Scream Queen. Oh, I'm drawing.
Linnea Quigley? Linnea?
No, what was
No?
no, it's not Karen Black, is it?
Karen Black. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
the original Scream Queen. She did so good in that trilogy or in that movie. So that's probably one of my favorite ones. God, there's so many because I had two more. Basket Case
Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, that was a great one.
and
Yeah.
It's Alive. Like the
Yeah.
original It's Alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are deep cuts too. You know,
Yeah.
they don't get as much love as they should. So
No, I
Yeah.
know.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Basket Case really freaked me out as a kid. Like
Oh
Yeah.
Belial. Oh, yeah.
I was freaking creepy as hell.
Yeah.
And that's some of the most iconic movie poster / VHS tape artwork that would grab your attention when you go into Blockbuster or wherever you got to rent stuff. Those are the kind of movies that would jump out and you'd want to check out.
I still have it on VHS. Yes, that tells you how old I am.
Sweet.
Yeah. Oh, you know
Classic.
another one I liked? It was another old one. Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. You ever seen that one?
I don't
Maybe
know.
from the early 70s or 80s. But what happens is this lady moves into this house and the groundskeeper tell her and don't open the fireplace because it's still with like a grate. So she opens the fireplace, of course, and these little people come out. I was like, oh my God, that's
That sounds creepy as all get out. So
yeah.
yeah, I'll
And
have to throw that on the list too.
Guillermo del Toro actually did a remake of it, and his is really good. His remake, so they don't tell you what the original ones in the 70s are. They don't like explain what they are, but in his, they were actually fairies, which was I thought that was so unique and interesting because you know you think of fairies as cutesy.
Yeah.
Actually, fairies are fucking vicious and mean sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
I
great,
like
yeah.
the fact that he does that. He leans into the darkness of all of those kinds of characters.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Hellboy, both of those, and
Oh,
what is it, Pan's Labyrinth. I mean, they
yeah.
they don't hold back on making sure you understand these creatures are deadly and scary.
Very true. Very true.
So as an adult, what kind of movies? I mean, are you still looking at those old movies, or do you have another favorite as
I
an
have
adult?
I have a couple of favorites as adult. I'm gonna give you just one or two. Cabin in the Woods. Don't know what it is about that movie, but I just enjoyed it. I think it's the variety of monsters they had in it. Like they had freaking unicorns and mermaids, and when they showed the mermaid, I was like, "That's what a mermaid looked like." So that's like such a great movie to me. And then Cabin in the Woods is another good one.
Did you say that twice? I think you said Cabin in the Woods twice.
Oh, wait, I mean Cabin Fever.
Oh
Cabin
yeah,
Fever.
Yeah, I
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, both of those are great. And you
Yeah.
don't hear them very often, but yeah, I love Cabin in the Woods. It's a fun movie. It's
It's
nice.
so fun.
It's always good when the movie itself is kind of knows what it is, you know, and it's taking you on and it's kind of giving you a wink while it's doing it. I kind of
Yeah.
enjoy that aspect of it. And it stayed true to all the movies we grew up on. So
Yeah.
that's the
Mhm.
best part is it's not making fun of what we love, but
Mhm.
just kind of I don't know, reminding us of how much fun they're supposed to be when you're watching them.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
for
I'm
sure.
a big fan of like practical effects as opposed to CGI.
Mhm.
So I think in Cabin in the Woods there was a lot of practical effects too, mixed with CGI, but the CGI was well done.
Yeah, they did a really good job of putting the two together. Doesn't stand out at all, really.
No, not at all. Yeah. Awesome.
And that's part of the reason why Dog Soldiers is such a fun movie, because they did as much practical as they could with
Yep.
the werewolves and stuff.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, they were on a very tight budget. So I don't think there
Really?
were any, just a
CGI.
handful of maybe CGI effects, if I
Mhm.
remember correctly from our discussion.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yeah, they had
that's one reason I did like Dog Soldiers, because of the practical effects. Like, you don't see werewolf movies done like that too often.
Yeah, not especially not now. Now everything's like, Sci-Fi Channel.
Uh,
Anybody with a buck can make a werewolf picture,
Yeah.
and it almost always looks terrible when they do the changes and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't mind the old school watching a werewolf in the 80s where the nose would move, because they didn't have
Yeah.
it stabilized properly and you could see the mask moving. I think those are, I mean, it's a little, it's charming, I guess, in a way. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
kind of like that old school stuff where you can
The
look
only
at it.
one that was awkward was the change in the howling, where it seemed like it took like forever for the guy to
Yes.
change. His just like
Yeah.
Oh.
face was bubbling. I mean, it was still cool. It was just like a little awkward it got, because you're
Yeah, they
just
took a
like,
long
okay.
time for the howling change to go through, and it was all practical. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, we figured that the person that the werewolf was going to attack had plenty of time to leave, get away while the guy's
Right?
changing. So,
I'm like 2 blocks away and he's still changing.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
for sure.
So if somebody came to you and said, "Hey, I want to get into reading horror," what would be a good starting off book for them?
That I would recommend.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so hard. The Haunted Forest Tour by Jeff Strand. I will always pump that book as much as I can, because it's just or prop it up, because it's a great story. It's another one where I think that's what it is with me. I love a variety. And in the Haunted Forest Tour, there were so many different monsters in that book. And then anything about Rat James White.
You would take a new person and just
I would
throw
just
them into
go
the deep
there.
end.
Yeah, sure.
Because
Yep.
I gotta tell you, I've actually been doing buddy reads on Rath's books. And I just finished The Resurrectionist today.
So good.
And that book had my anxiety up to 1,000,000. I was avoiding reading it, and when I was done with it, I wanted to scream and throw it against the wall. And if it hadn't been a signed leisure edition of The Resurrectionist, I would have thrown it at the wall.
Oh, that's a great
You
book.
are cold-blooded, man. Here, have some Wrath James White.
Yeah, throw them in the deep end. Get it over with.
I don't know if you know, there's a movie for that.
Yeah, come
it's
back
pretty
to
good.
me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it. I
Yeah.
gotta come down from the book first.
Did you read Teratologist?
No, I haven't. We did 400 Days of Oppression.
That's good.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
And Succulent Prey.
Mhm.
And we're going to do Succulent Drive.
I haven't read that one yet, so.
And then we're going to get Christopher Ruffty into the group chat to do Master of Pain.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yes.
because Wrath and him wrote that together. But you are cruel, man. You are cold-blooded.
I'm not going to tell them anything about it. I'm just going to say, start reading at page 1. Don't read the synopsis. Just go for it.
Yeah.
But I like how you said the Haunted Forest Tour, because a lot of people that we've been doing interviews go back to the tried and true, like either the classics or Stephen King. And I love that you mentioned like a newer book, like something that,
I'm probably going to get in a lot of trouble. I haven't read a lot of King's books.
Yeah.
Fortunately.
Yeah.
And there were good stories. I like the movies, but I just haven't read the books for some reason.
Well, they're long. Most of his books are super
Yeah.
long, unless like the older ones like Carrie, Firestarter, Salem's Lot. Those aren't really long books, but like It and The Stand and Under the Dome is like over 1,000 pages.
Oh God, Jesus, I would never do that. I started off with like some of my favorites was Dean Koontz, of course, but then I don't know if you know Graham Masterton.
I've heard the name. Yeah.
He is another one. Like some of his books are so brutal. There's one called Master of Lies, and it starts off, and all I can tell you is that a whole family gets nailed to the wall, kids and all, and set on fire, and that's how the book starts. I'm like,
okay.
So Yeah, I did. I think I started with them, and because Dean, of course, is not very extreme, but Graham Masterton is, which is where I started reading, looking for even more extreme stuff. And then I wound up getting to finding Ed Lee and Ralph James White and Poppy Z. Bright. So yeah, I went down a rabbit hole and never came up.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I'll have to check out Grandmasters. I haven't read anything from
Okay.
him. What was
Yeah.
that one? Master of Lies?
Master of Lies. I'm almost positive.
Yeah,
Yes.
because that sounds right up my alley.
It's so good.
What is your favorite horror novel?
Ooh, I don't know. Um, Geez, that's hard. Something I've read multiple times. The Haunted Forest Tour. I don't know why I like it, but I read it about 3 times. And ah, Family Tradition by Edward Lee and who else wrote it with him? Yeah, that's some of my favorite ones. I can't really pick one. They're all so
Yeah, it's
good.
hard. It's hard
Yeah.
to pick. It's got to be what are you in the mood in that moment? You know,
Yeah,
what your
exactly.
favorite could be.
Yeah, I can say that. I don't know if I have like a particular super favorite of all time, but I'm gonna say that The Resurrectionist is totally
Oh, nice.
top 5 of this year.
Oh, cool.
And it's
What about
only
you? What's your favorite?
Oh,
I'm just
that's
kidding.
tough. I don't know. Yeah, we asked the questions. I don't really
Oh,
think
yeah,
about
yeah.
answering these questions.
Flip the
turning
script.
turning the table on us, Roland
Well,
there.
you know, it's I always lean towards Layman. He's my
Oh,
favorite
yes, yes.
author and in the horror world. I love Robert Jordan, so you know
Okay.
I'm a big Wheel of Time nerd, and so. But if I was gonna pick a layman, I really like what is it, Night in a Lonesome October,
I was
or
gonna say that one. Yes,
yeah,
that's like
that's I don't think it gets enough love because it's so the whole idea of the story is so boring, and he'll captivate you for the whole
yeah.
thing with just such a generic and I mean there's really nothing to it, you know, it's just
Yeah.
him following that girl around, then
Oh yeah,
breaking
yeah,
into
yeah.
houses and stuff. So but the first one I read was Darkness Tell Us. I think that one's really good.
That's the one where the librarian finds the
No,
letter
that's In the Dark, and I
in the
like that
dark.
one too. I
Yeah,
like that one too.
that's
I think that
good.
one's pretty cool.
I think that would
um
make such a great movie.
I did, yeah, and you know what? I think was made into a very low budget movie.
What?
So yeah, I don't know how much of it follows the actual books. I haven't watched it, but I know I've seen somewhere talking about In the
Hmm.
Dark as a movie. So
I think
um I don't know. I don't think you can go wrong with the Layman book. I
I agree.
mean, there are the ones that came out after he died. And
Yeah.
those you can say, well, he didn't finish them actually, and The Lake is terrible in that aspect. But as a book, it's fine. But as a Layman book, I thought it was lacking. So, but
Yeah.
you can tell the 3 after he died. Glory Bus was the one I think he was closest to being completed with, and so it reads almost traditionally like a Layman. The
Mhm.
other 2, Amara and The Lake, are kind of they're
Oh.
okay. But I could tell if he had one more pass, a couple
Mhm.
more with The Lake, they would be spectacular books. So
Did you read what is it? One Rainy Night?
yeah, that one's a really good one too, and nobody ever talks about that one.
Yeah, that's a
So
good book. Yeah,
yeah.
love it.
And then, you know, Ed Lee's got some ones I really like. I enjoyed the Infernals. They're all fun to read,
Yeah,
and Flesh Gothic was really good.
I love that.
So
Nice.
yeah, no, or Offspring. I like, or is it Offspring is the first? No, that's the second one. Off Season by Ketchum.
Oh,
That
yeah.
one's really fun.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I The Shining was probably is my favorite King book if I was gonna have to pick one. So
Awesome. Okay.
I'm like you though. I haven't read anything since Needful Things. So anything he's written after that book, I've
Yeah.
never picked up. And then before it, I've probably read 3 or 4 of them. So
I'll just watch his movies.
yeah.
So you write horror, of course. What's your favorite subgenre of horror? Like you have some extreme, you have some that I don't think are too extreme.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the extreme splatterpunk side of things. Um, I, yeah, I think that's my favorite out of everything.
So when they come to your table, they're gonna find mostly the extreme natured stuff.
I try to, and then I feel weird when like if I write something and it's not as extreme. There's something that should be coming out soon. I won't say much about it, but because nobody's said any released it yet. But I read over it and I kept reading it, and I was like, this is not as extreme as I want it to be. But then I had to think to myself and realize sometimes just the story doesn't call for that.
Call for that. Yeah.
Right.
And it's okay if it doesn't. I feel like after people read my first book, maybe that's what they're expecting. But at least I can show maybe a different side of myself. It's still there. It's still got guts and gore and nastiness there, but it's just not as extreme as I had wanted it to be. And I'm okay with that. And I think I'm gonna try and switch my brain to, tell myself that it's okay for it to not be guts and gore from page 1 to the end. So
Yeah, for sure. And I think people will appreciate that. So
you know what I'd love is your book. How do you say that? Tetabesh?
oh, tet beige.
Besh.
Yes, I have to
So
learn how to say it a million times. I would say it
so
over and over to myself. Beige.
yeah.
Yeah.
One side is homegrown comeuppance, which I don't think I've read that. I don't think it's very extreme because that was in Baker's Dozen, right? Yeah. And then the other side is a necromantic
Love
love
story.
story, which just the title alone makes you think it's a little on the extreme side. So even in that one book, you have the two different things,
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty cool that you chose to put those two together so you can get, two tastes of Rowland, of your writing,
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, somebody was reading Necromantic and it was like, Roland, you did not do that. I was like, oh yes,
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
after
those are the best DMs, right? Or
yeah,
whatever
Yes,
yeah.
it was a
conversations.
message from
I'm
somebody.
sorry, but after Unbortion, there's nothing you could write that would surprise me.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah, the gauntlet's been thrown down. Now I guess you're
That's
gonna have to do
it.
it.
Yes, I gotta do it.
Yeah.
So
So
when
you,
I was
go
gonna
ahead.
say, I think you and I are gonna ask the same question, so you go
Yeah,
ahead.
I was gonna say, do you have a specific music you listen to while you write, or do you like silence?
I usually like silence when I write. I do like certain type of music. But when I'm writing, I just like the TV can't be on. I just put a fan on, close the windows, make it a little gloomy, and then start writing. Yeah, because I get distracted easily. And TikTok cannot be nowhere close to me because I get distracted easily.
Yeah.
Hey, TikTok, taking up so much of my damn time.
Yeah, because I remember I think it was you who said that sometimes you would write on your phone at work.
No,
Was
I
that
just
you?
write at work.
No, yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing? We'll
No,
edit this out, I
I
guess.
write on their computer at work. Aaron told me I might get fired one of these days. One of the people at work are gonna hear this or watch one of these things and be like, "Oh, so that's what you're doing on our dime." Yep, I sure am.
Yeah. So how does that work? Because it's obviously, I mean, I know medical offices, it's not quiet. There's phones ringing and people talking and
That's so funny, but when I'm at work, I can tune them out. I swear. The building could be falling out around my ears, and I'll be like, "Ooh, look at that! Keep on writing, keep on writing." I don't
Yeah.
know why. I don't know how to tune them out because they're just it's a good place to work, but they've got some crazy people there.
yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah.
So you were just talking about, what's your newest book that just came out? Plug your newest work and tell us about any
Well,
projects you got going on.
the Tid Besh book is my most recent one, which you guys know about. 2 stories in one, kind of flipped upside down and back to back.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
The formatting was, oh my God, it was a nightmare. Luckily I found a local printer here in Houston to do it for me. And they're like literally around the corner from me, but they charge way more than I thought. And I knew even going into it, I was like, it's gonna be impossible to make the money back off of this book. But I just hadn't seen something like that before in horror. So I was like, I'm just gonna do it anyway because I think it's fucking unique and cool and fun, and hopefully people would love to read it.
Yeah.
So that's my most recent one. And then I have the story in Ooze that Ruth Anna Evans put together,
Yeah.
which is called Dr. Parasite.
Yes,
And
that was
yeah.
creepy and weird, and no thank you.
And so that's actually a very small snippet of the story because I asked Ruth Anna, I was like, "Hey, you know me, I write very well. I write so slow, it's ridiculous." So she wanted me to be in part of the collection, and I was like, "Okay, what am I going to write about?" And I was like, "Well, can I give you a small snippet of the story or just one little section, and kind of put that in there?" She said, "Yes." So it's actually that story is a very small couple of paragraphs or chapters of the longest story, which I'm working on now, which is going to be my longest story yet. It's up to so far 30,000 words. I wrote a book 30,000 words long.
That's awesome.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yes, I'm so proud of myself. Um, my other ones were like what 10,000, 11. So this is pretty long. But the funny thing is, I'm like getting down to the wire. I'm almost at the end, and now I'm starting to think to myself, this is a stupid story. But I think we all do that to ourselves. At least,
Right. Yeah.
yeah. But then I think to myself, oh, hell no, this is actually a good story. So I'm flipping back and forth in my head, but I'm gonna put it out regardless because I had a lot of fun writing it, and it's super gross and um, I'm trying to do a little more character development, like in my other books. Because they're shorter stories, there's not a lot of room for character development. So that's something I'm trying to improve upon in my stories so that people could kind of feel a bit of more of a connection with their characters.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really tough to do a deep character study on anything that's less than, 20,000 words.
Yes. Yeah.
You kind of have to get to the action. Otherwise, everybody's complaining you're not doing enough. It's
Yeah.
one of
Yeah.
those things. So,
And then the weird thing is, you get to the action, and then people say, "Well, I just wanted more character development."
yeah.
My
I
God.
know. It's like you just said you wanted action. I gave you
Yeah.
action, and now you want the characters. So,
Yes, yes,
yeah.
yes. Like, what
So,
do you want me to do in 9,000 words? I mean, abortion is just over 10,000 words. So, and it's about a fetus. The fetus is not even developed yet. So how can I fucking develop a character?
there
There
you
is
go.
no
Right.
character to develop. It's just a
Right?
blob.
There you go.
When are we getting an abortion too?
I've been thinking about it. I actually have a 2 and a 3 that I want to do. So I have the titles in my head, which I can tell you those. So I would love to do abortion 2, second trimester, and then
That's good.
abortion afterbirth.
There you go.
That's
There you go. That's the hard
perfect.
part. Sometimes for me, I could write the whole thing, and the hardest part is coming up with a title. So
Really?
you got a
Yeah.
great title already. So
Yeah, those are perfect,
yeah,
Roland. And
Okay.
we need those because I remember when I got my signed copy from you, you had put in there like Team Pink or Team Blue.
Yeah.
Team,
But
I'm like, so we need to know if it was a boy or a girl. We just need that closure. At least
I'm
I
gonna
do,
do it.
anyways.
I'm going to do it. I don't know why I'm hesitant to tread into that territory. I've never written a sequel to anything, so it's unfamiliar to me, but I know I can do it. And then for the most part, abortions had such a positive response. I would hate to put out a second book and it not be as good, if not better than abortion was.
yeah, I can totally get that.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I have no doubt that it's going to be spectacular. So you just
absolutely.
need to do
Same,
it. Yeah,
same.
I have no doubt at all. So
I
Awesome.
just love those titles. Like,
Oh,
yeah, the titles are amazing. I love it.
thanks.
So
Thank you.
it's absolutely perfect.
Thanks.
Um, other than coming to Texas AuthorCon, where can people find your stuff?
You can go to my website, which is www.rolandbercyjr.com, and like pretty much everything is there. The Tate Besh book is there also because I can't sell it on Amazon because of the printing, so I have to sell it through my website, or like on Facebook posts. And I'm not great with promoting myself on Facebook because I don't want to just be bombarding rooms with my stuff. So there, but you can also find me on Facebook and send me a message and say hi. And I like talking to, new readers and I guess fans. I have fans. That's crazy.
Yes.
Um,
I'm your fan. I'm a fan.
hey, Donna, I'm your fan. I'm your fan.
Yeah.
Love you guys. So, and then I have an Instagram, but I never really use it. And then I have a TikTok, but there's not much there. And then I have a Twitter, but you don't want to go there.
Well, now I'm gonna.
Yeah, no, I mean, you just set it
Yeah.
up, so we all have to go to Twitter now. I don't know what we're supposed to do
There
with
is
that.
no way you will find it. I have hidden it so deep.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, no, you don't want to see that.
Challenge
Yeah.
accepted.
It's not me though. It's not me. That would be horrible.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, and of course,
So we'll put the
Amazon.
appropriate links below,
Yeah, put the
minus the
appropriate
Twitter.
links below.
Yes, and
Please.
we'll go from there, so everybody can find your stuff. Yeah, I think that's awesome. I love the fact that you have that book,
Thank
the
you.
two-sided book.
Yeah, and
People should
Roland
get that. It just
is
reminded me of all the cool stuff that we used to get when we were younger.
yeah. And you're also 1/4 of the host of Written and Read podcast, so people can go to
Oh,
like
yeah.
Spotify and YouTube and find Written and Read.
We have our Written and Read all over YouTube. I think we're gonna start recording again soon. Aaron, Daniel, Parker, let us know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know when we're gonna try and get back to recording, but we're talking about it.
Yeah. I think you froze, or did
Donna
I freeze?
I think
I
Does
think
seem
I
like she has
froze.
frozen, so we can all.
Just talk about me.
Uh-oh.
And which
Ah.
may be a problem because we're recording through her, but
Maybe.
we'll
I
have to
hear
live
her.
through this. Yeah, I kind of hear a little bit, but I don't
Can
see
you hear
anything.
me? Okay, well that
Alright.
was fun.
Technical difficulties. We were just discussing how, and we don't even know if any of it got recorded, so I'll start over again. But
Yeah.
Roland and I were at the original Texas Author Con, and we were talking about how just fun it was the first time, and that how much bigger it's going to be this time.
Yeah.
I mean, we just had 14 of us, one in a very small room.
Yeah.
And this time we're going to have over 60 writers
Yeah.
in a huge room.
That's
So, and we're going to have panels and discussions. And are you on any panels?
I think so. I have to check, but I'm almost positive I am. Yeah.
And then we'll have readings.
Yeah.
And
Not it.
yeah, but it was so fun. The first, I mean, because it was, I don't know how many events you had been to. I know you had been to a couple killer cons, and you had been to the very first Author Scares of Cares, right?
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was only
So you
my
had some under your belt, but this
A
was my
couple.
very first event.
Oh yeah, you said that. I remember you saying that. Were you nervous when you went?
I was a little nervous. Yes, I was. I didn't know, 'cause I didn't know half the writers, so I was a little nervous just meeting people, and then
Yeah.
we had no idea what the event was going to be like. Really, we're being
Yeah.
honest, because the hotel's a little off the beaten path, and we hadn't advertised a ton, just a little bit, so I wasn't sure how many people would come, and we had a steady stream of people the
I was
entire
gonna
day. And
say,
it was so cool to meet everybody.
what was it? How many days was it? 3 days, if I'm not, or 2 days?
Oh no, our event was just the one day.
Was it just that one day? I can't remember because it was well. But like you said, that day it was just a steady stream of people. There was never a huge gap where there wasn't anybody there. So I was really surprised about that. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I think this year is going to be even bigger. So
Even better.
yeah.
Bigger and better. Yeah, I'm very excited.
I get stressed with cons though, because like even with texts with Scares That Care, like I know a lot of people, I know you guys, and I know if I saw you out, I would recognize you immediately. But there are other people like that I've seen and talked to on Facebook, and I'm like, oh God, what if they come to me and I don't recognize them? It's gonna
yeah.
I always feel so weird about that. It was so funny.
100%.
Yeah, I'm sitting there, Donna, you were there, and I turned to Angelique and I'm like, oh hey, do I know you?
Yes, that was hilarious.
Idiot. I was like, oh, it's Angelique. See,
Well, because I think I actually said
same thing. I did the exact same thing. I walked right by her.
Yeah, I think I said this is Angelique Jordana, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, see? My biggest fear.
You did not introduce us when I was there Thursday night. When I walked into the room, you didn't say a word, and she just stood there like a scarecrow. It wasn't until the next day that I stopped and said, I know who you are.
Can I be honest with you, Eric? The reason I didn't do that is because by the time you got there, I was drunk.
That's fine. But I was punch drunk. It wouldn't have mattered. You could have introduced me to anybody, and I would have been like, hi. And then I went to the room. I had just
Really?
finished that stupid drive. I wasn't paying attention to anything.
Oh
I was
yeah.
looking for an excuse to get back up to the room. I was ready to go to sleep.
That's why I didn't stay at the hotel at Scares I Care because I was like, I just need a little break, even though I was like literally 2-3 minutes up the road. I just like I can step away from there and de-stress and collect myself and then go back to it.
Yeah, I'm totally with you though. There were times where I would be facing somebody and I would know their name and still be terrified that I didn't know their name.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to get over that. But
Yeah. But and the weird thing is, I think that even if that did happen, the people would not be upset or
yeah,
offended.
everybody was so cool.
They're
Yeah.
just the sweetest people ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm like, I felt bad that you were down in the like little, like off the, like over there by the, yeah, you were off at the beaten path. Put you in the
But
corner.
I know, right? I was a bad boy. But it was better than upstairs because we were upstairs the first day, and not many people came. So when they moved us down to that little section, it was still a good. Like there was people there constantly, so I was okay with it. And plus, I don't know if I would have been wanted to be in the big room. It was nice, but there's just so much going on in there.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
that was a bit chaos. Yeah.
and it's funny, I left my table to go make my rounds and just try and say hi to everybody because there's so many people. And when I came back, the guys that were sitting across from me, they were like, Roland, you literally had a mob of people down here looking for you. And I was like, what? People looking for me and my books? So
Awesome.
then luckily everybody came back, but I still like almost all of the stuff that I brought with me, which was amazing.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
great.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, so we'll have links to your Amazon page and your website in the description of this episode, and we'll so come out and see Roland at Texas AuthorCon. It is July 14th and 15th in the Dallas area. So come on out and see us.
Looking forward
Thanks
to
for
it.
joining us, Roland. We really
thanks for
loved
getting on
having
here.
you on. You're always fun, and I miss you.
Oh, I miss you too, Eric.
Yep. I'm not as
Give your
fun.
doggies a hug for me.
That's right. Yeah, they
Yeah.
do. Well, they definitely need love and attention from everyone. So
Oh,
Yeah.
adorable.
All right. Thanks for watching.